Hello, hello! What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and here's a movie that I have never seen before, but weirdly enough, I've seen the two remakes of it. I'm talking about the original Black Christmas. This is a 1974 film that was directed by Bob Clark. And the plot. The plot is fairly similar, at least in the setup of what the remakes brought us, where you have a group of sorority sisters who are stuck at the home on winter break for Christmas, and a crazy, maniacal, psychotic killer has broken into the house. He snuck into the attic. He's creeping out in there. He's killing them one by one. They have to figure out who he is, where he's coming from, how to stop him. What I thought of the original Black Christmas was, I actually enjoyed this movie on a weird, twisted way, I guess. Especially because, you're wondering if you're going to bring too much baggage with seeing the remake first and going back to what actually started it all. And I wanted to make sure, and I hoped to make sure, that I was going to give credit to that, but I did. I think the premise, especially for the time period, works. It's creepy. It's messed up. I couldn't imagine being a sorority girl around this time when this movie came out and never wanting to stay at your sorority house during any school breaks. You have our main actresses. Olivia Hussey plays Jess. This actress immediately looked familiar. I had to look her up, though. And then I realized, she plays Norma Bates in Psycho 4, the beginning. Not a good movie, but I remember seeing it, and I remembered her. And I thought she was good as far as being the main girl, the final girl. She's somebody who she had this relationship with this guy, Peter. He's very much into his piano recital audition and what he has going on, but when that doesn't go through, he has a little bit of a breakdown. He goes to her and he doesn't propose. He just says, "Hey, we're getting married." And she's like, no. And when she says, "Look, I have my life, I have my dreams, I have the things that I want to do and accomplish, and you're not part of that," yeah, it does sound like a burn. But at the same time, I appreciated that she stuck up for herself and that she knew what she wanted. She was a strong character without the movie feeling like it had to hit it over the head, shove it in your face. It just was her personality. Speaking of personality, Barb is played by Margot Kidder. Before Superman the movie, before she was Lois Lane. I'm not sure if this was her first movie, but it was pretty early on for Margot Kidder. I thought she was great in this movie. She probably stands out the most out of all the other girls, just as far as being the wild one. Probably close to how she was in real life. She's drinking, she's smoking, she likes to tell kind of dirty jokes. The one time when they go to the police station because there's somebody making prank phone calls on them, and one of their friends, sorority girls, is missing, she tells the cop that the last name is Fellatio. And the cop obviously didn't get it. He wrote it down seriously. That just goes to show you what type of girl she is. I found her pretty amusing. The other cops in the station laughed at that dude, much deservedly so, if I'm being honest. The crazy killer, though, that's in the attic, he's creepy. You hear him talking to himself. Most of this movie, almost all of the movie, it's in his point of view. And I found that interesting that this movie did that before Halloween, before Friday the 13th. That whole sense of you can't see the killer, you just see what they see, and you're seeing them perform the kills, you're seeing them do that. Obviously, it was to create tension on who exactly is the killer towards the end, but I still thought that setup of seeing the killer kill people like that. And those disgusting phone calls, this guy is such a perv, he's so creepy. The dirty things that he says to the girls, the expletives, and just, but for the most part, especially Margot Kidder, she has fun with it, and she's able to handle it, but it's still really gross. The sorority house mother, I lost count over how many drinks, how much alcohol she consumed. She had drinks bottles hidden in the toilet seat and in like all these various places behind a book, and I'm like, man, does this woman, all she does is drink? Does she do anything else? Is she ever sober? I just found that amusing. John Saxon plays the lieutenant. It's funny that this movie came out 10 years before A Nightmare on Elm Street, where he too plays a cop there. And so when I saw him pop up, I said, oh wow, not only is it John Saxon, but he's playing a similar role. And so for that, he was good. Keir Dullea, he plays Peter. He's the ex-boyfriend of Jess. He was good because you never 100% could tell what he was up to, if he could be trusted. There's even some doubt later on if whether or not he's the killer. So I found that to be interesting. The movie's budget, I had to look this up because I was very curious, especially compared to the more recent remakes. This budget was about $600,000, not even million. If it cost $600 million, that'd be actually disturbing. $600,000, not even $1 million, and I found that interesting because it goes to show that you don't need a lot of money to pull off a horror film, as long as it's effective, as long as it has a premise that's creepy, as long as you have a creepy killer to gross you out or scare you in certain moments, and as long as you have characters that you care whether they live or die. I think that's what was most effective here. The kills that did happen did the job that they had to do as far as being believable. And when you get to the most recent remake, the 2019 one, not the 2006 one, 2019 remake, that cost $5 million. And that movie sucked. It's not as good. It's not as memorable. It's not something that I really care to go rewatch. But this original film I would rewatch. It is a creepy film that does the job and does what it needs to do. Man, yeah, I'm creeped out, especially by that killer. His phone calls, they were gross, creepy. The scenes of him in the attic talking to and having one of the dead bodies in the rocking chair with the plastic over her head, and he's so giddy over it. I mean, dude, get a hobby that doesn't involve killing. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of the original Black Christmas. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Did you grow up on it? Is it better than the 2 remakes that we've now had? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!